Welcome to Hennett Minutes. I'm Greg Hennett, and today's message is titled Faithfulness in a Day of Small Things. Jesus said in Luke 19:17, "Well done, thou good servant, because thou hast been faithful in a least thing," some say a very little thing, "have thou authority over 10 cities." Wow, what a contrast between faithfulness in a little thing, a least thing, and then having the reward of authority over 10 cities. That's a tremendous disparity. So it shows you the value that God places on faithfulness in a day of small things. Our example today is Joseph, and the text is Genesis 41, verses 12 and 13. Here, Pharaoh's servant, the butler, is speaking. And he says, "And there was there with us a young man." He was speaking of the prison in which he was placed temporarily. "A young man, a Hebrew, servant to the captain of the guard. And we told him, and he interpreted to us our dreams. To each man, according to his dream, did he interpret. And it came to pass, as he interpreted to us, so it was." Now here, after 2 years, 2 long years, finally, the butler remembers Joseph. Joseph had asked him to remember him when he came back before the great Pharaoh and to bring him out of this place. And he said because he had done nothing to be worthy of being placed in the dungeon. He was right. Well, what does this tell us? Finally, at this time, when the butler remembered him, he recommends him to the Pharaoh. The Pharaoh needs an interpreter. He tells him what happened, and so he immediately calls Joseph up to the Pharaoh, and he's promoted to the highest position in the land. We know the story. But what brought him out? This testimony of the butler, where he records that Joseph had served faithfully in the prison. So it was the fruit of Joseph's service in the day of small things that elevated him to his day of great things in God and for people. What if Joseph down in the prison had said, God has given me a bad rap. I've served him all my life, and look what's happened. I've gone down and then down again into a prison, down once into slavery and down again into prison for an unjust accusation. He could have done that. He could have given up, but he didn't. He chose to stay faithful to God when he didn't understand why he had been demoted so severely and unjustly. And he continued to serve faithfully until God brought him out. What is a day of small things? It's the day when few people or no people notice who you are and what you're doing and how you're serving. They don't commend you. They don't give you citations and awards. You're not recognized at the annual banquet. So this is the day of small things. Nobody even notices that you're there. They don't even know your name, but God knows your name. Are you in a day of small things right now? Are you serving as, an assistant manager or just a clerk in the store? Are you assisting the boss of the business? Are you a teacher in a school and, everything is just going on in a very humdrum manner? Are you a pastor of a small church and your church, whatever you do, just seems determined not to grow? Are you a teacher and an author? Nobody buys your books. Nobody comes to your meetings. Are you a prophet and nobody believes what you say? Are you an office worker and, people come and go by you? They want to talk to the manager. They want to talk to the salesman. They just walk right by your office. God has put you in these places to see, will you serve him in the day of the least things? Now, many of us want promotion. We want to go higher. We want to serve higher. That can be good, and it can not be good. If it just comes from our pride, the pride of our natural ambition, the ambition of the heart of the fallen man, that's not good. But if it comes from the Holy Spirit, it's a desire to rise higher, to have a broader field of ministry to others, to give to more people, to bless more people, to help more people, especially today when the hour is so late. Jesus is coming soon. Well, this is what matters. Two things. Are you qualified? And whose approval are you seeking? Let's start with the second. Are you seeking the approval of people only or the approval of Christ? Oh, that's crucial. If you're seeking people's approval, you're not even in the ball game for divine promotion. You have to be committed to seek only the approval of Christ, because He's the one that you will stand before ultimately at the judgment seat, and so will I. And then this other issue, are you qualified? What qualifies you? Well, 4 things: the call of God, the gift of God, knowledge in the area of your calling, and experience. The calling is crucial. You will never serve God fruitfully outside His call, only in His call. If you work and serve outside the call of God on your life, you may do many things, but it will all be undone in the day that Christ judges. Serve in the call. And then when you are called, God gives you a gift or gifts that fit the call. Now, the question is, will you be like Joseph? Will you use those gifts in your day of small things, as Joseph did? Let me encourage you to do that. Use those gifts. Give careful attention to your service. Whatever you have been gifted to do it with excellence and do it for this motive, as unto Christ. St. Paul to the Colossians chapter 3, verse 23. As unto Christ, heartily, with your whole heart. And then knowledge. Do you have knowledge to be elevated? You want to go to a higher place of service, do you have the knowledge base so that you can serve well? If not, be seeking that knowledge, studying, learning. And then do you have the experience? When God raises people, they have good experience at a lower level. You know, when He raised Joseph to be the administrator of all of Egypt, you might say, well, he wasn't qualified. Well, yes, he was. He had been the administrator over the house of Potiphar, who was a very wealthy and important man, and his estate would have had probably hundreds of slaves and or employees, and Joseph ran it all well. So this is what qualifies you: the call of God, the gift of God, the knowledge that you need in that area, and then experience, and your determination to serve the Lord only and His approval, not care what people think, but care what He thinks. So today, be faithful in your day of small things.